Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Galata Plus Mega Carnatic Roundtable. We're doing this for the first time, so thank you all for being here. And when I say it's good to have representation from the dance fraternity, from the percussion fraternity, and of course the music fraternity, so that's just wonderful. I'll begin with this question, and please feel free to take it forward anyway. Anybody can step in. No, like all of you, at some point you must have just entered this. Somebody must have put you in a part of class or a dance class or something like that since you start learning. This is at a very young age. At what point did the thought occur that, okay, whatever I'm doing, okay, now this is what I want to do. This is what I need to do. This is my destiny. When did that click happen?
There was never a clicking moment of me wanting to be a dancer or an artist. So எனக்கு எப்பவும் in the film career, being in the films and training traditionally always went hand in hand. There was not a moment where I wasn't doing either. So I was too busy to think about certain needs, to do something, to want something. I was just it. I was forever shooting, or I was forever practicing, or I was forever taking classes. And one thing that if I can add to when you said college, I felt myself very different in school. So I actually preferred going for classes. I didn't prefer going to school so much. I was very comfortable in whatever I was doing, be it any artistic situation. I found myself focusing. Right? So I think that's it. I was always that way. And there's no difference in anything. For me, I'm just what I do.
Now, a question to both of you. When does one know? So you go through this rigorous training and all that, but when does one know you are ready?
Our gurus also never, they never showed us a path as how to make money out of it. And you follow them only. So then they never said, oh, இதுல பணம் இருக்கு பண்ணலாம் அப்படிலாம் இல்லவே இல்லை.
பணம் இல்ல
பணம் இல்ல ஒண்ணு, but they never tried to monetize anything is what I say. Even in dance class, while teaching, I don't remember paying my guru a cent. Yeah. And so in the Marida, we've also, at least our generation, we also did not actually commercialize it. But for me, I began to see other people commercializing my art. That's when there was like an alarm bell ringing. But otherwise, just as you said, இது பணமா ஒரு ப்ரொஃபஷனலா ஆக்சுவலி யாரும் பார்க்கறது இல்லை. இப்போவும் பெருசாலாம் இல்லை. Even my colleagues, all my senior colleagues, I don't think they look at it like that.
Question for both of you from what Krishna said. One is, he talked about the word fear. Has anybody, stage fright is a genuine thing, right, for some people. Has anybody actually experienced it? You saying you didn't?
Every time.
Will you call it fright? That's a question I have for you. Will you call it stage fright?
Well, the term is stage fright.
Yeah,
but
I mean, there is a nervousness.
It could be butterflies. It could
there
be
is a nervousness.
Stage fright, I think there is a nervousness. Yes, stage fear also. But it's only for me. Only when they put the tanpura. அப்பதான் எனக்கு எல்லாமே நிம்மதியா வந்து I calm down. Until such time, it's like always horrendous things happening.
Anxiety even now.
The concerts when we were doing it, and then she used to just come into the room, and there's so much of hustle bustle. I was thinking, oh my god, these are serious artists. I don't know how they're going to just get in the ambience and actually calm down. So for me, I need that chaos, busyness in order for me to find my space.
I think it's
lovely.
True.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So when she comes out, she's like, she's so calm.
That's Jayashri's permanent feature.
I'm like, a couple of rehearsals also, she's calm. And then one day I asked Abhishek ji, I said, Abhishek ji, we're having a show tomorrow, is everything okay? He said, Neenga paarenga ji.
And how in terms of when you perform, Shobana, do you, that level of immersion do you experience, or are you always aware that I am performing for, I can see the audience, I can, like I'm performing, or are you just lost in your world? How does that?
Well, it's all reference to what you're saying. I'm just a bit confused. Of course, you see the audience. It's like you can't get lost in it because you're performing, and then you need to, especially if you're, example, if you're dancing in a group, You need to know who's going here and there.
Yeah.
And being in the films also, you're trained to hold back. You're always trying to hold back and to survey yourself, right? That's just the logistical part. And then there is a part of what your job is to create, right? So everybody has different reasons how we can actually get motivated, inspired on stage in that particular thing. As we were saying, every audience is different, every setup is different. There are so much of situations where it's not conducive to really immerse yourself so much. Or திருவிழா or some conference you'll be going to, they'll book you for an official conference, and then they'll be eating there, they'll be jumping. That does not mean that they're disrespectful. It just means that we didn't get down to telling them not to do it. We know. So there are so many kinds of performances, there are so many kinds of audiences. So I just go out there and do my job, right? Now, if it is, even if the audience can take back a little with them, we can't expect everybody to understand what you're doing. Namakke sometimes மற்றவளை பார்த்தாவே புரியாது, dance. So, but it's just that we have to.
I think we should stop you there, ask you elaborate that point. It's very interesting, Shobana.
I know.
For a change, Krishna was not the first person.
You've just now thrown the.
Illa, I'm just trying to finish this line before I get sidelined. I'm saying it is, for me, I always look only at the music to immerse me. If I don't connect with the music, then I'm actually lost. I'm just an empty shell. So I'm very, fortunately or unfortunately, dependent on the music. So it's not just me going and doing something or seeing the audience. All of that is just the premise of a performance. But beyond that, if I don't have the right kind of music, I see everything.
That's nice. That's like films. It's a collaborative art. It's for you. It's not just just you out there. So
No.
many filmmakers, when they're asked, they say, I make movies for myself because I'm the audience, and if I'm happy, then I'm sure that at least some part of the audience is going to go home happy. There are other filmmakers who say, I explicitly write or direct keeping the audience in mind because I want certain moments to hit them and give them a certain effect. I want each one of you to talk about how you address this audience question versus singing for yourself question.
For me, I'm just listening to everybody, and I've understood that I've trained very differently. Ever since I was young, I was always given these opportunities that were not normal, because from the films there were tons and tons of opportunities to perform, and that's also how I've honed it, as you were saying. And they were all not your typical performances when there is silence and
Exactly.
there is discipline and people listening and waiting for you. Never. So I have actually trained myself in that heat for at least 2 to 2.5 decades. I've just gone through audiences who were never quiet and now are, right? Because 2 years they'll come to see you because of an actress. Would they come for 3 decades? I don't know. So going through that, I think, has given me a very different perspective of not getting defocused, not letting the small thing. For me, there's always these large stages, and whatever that can go wrong will go wrong in my performances. குழந்தை வந்து வயர் வந்து பிடிங்கி விட்டுட்டு ஓடி போயிடும், அந்த மாதிரி நிறைய இருக்கு. So I've just loved the way I have trained, and it was not only that, it was also the sabas, and I just love performing in the sabas because I've seen very, very different audiences. So to answer your question, for me, I just give 200% of what I like to the audience, knowing that one can't control your audience, one can't get them in. They come for some reason. So if they like what I like, then you're like done. There's no இவங்களுக்காக இது பண்ணணும், எனக்காக பண்ணணும், and அது அழகா பண்ணணும் அவ்வளோதான். That's it. So I'm training them with my aesthetics.
That's
அவ்வளவுதான்.
lovely. That's a beautiful thing to say. Yeah. How about you, Shobana? How do you prepare
For a performance.
for a performance?
Say it's solo.
I read a lot.
Wow.
I read all of those. Not one of the padams. I just try to get the authors of all of those padams and I read the mind. That's what I do. And that's how I kind of am prepared. Because after an age, you don't really physically dance and rehearse. You need to slow it down and save the body. It's not like when you were 24 to about 45. So after a point, I have to save my energies and I read before a concert instead of physically going out and rehearsing.
I'm going to ask you this, Shobana. It's always intrigued me when a dance performance takes place because you are dancing. There are people performing, like as in the song is being performed. There's a rhythm and all. So you rehearse earlier, saying that these are the songs and this is what you're going. Because I don't think you can, go out there and say I'm going to improvise.
Why?
Has that happened?
Always.
Okay.
If the musician, the vocalist decides to, then we can.
Okay, so that
It's
means
all the
you
same.
have a long-standing relationship with the vocalist, so that you suddenly you feel like doing something, they know what to provide you.
Not necessary.
Okay.
They just have to sing and I have to perform. No,
Okay.
that's what it is. Extempore can be done.
Can be done.
Yeah, and I think they do respond to her. I mean, in a sense, if you're staying in the same line,
Yeah.
they're going to stick to the line.
But then sometimes maybe it's not needed for that particular day,
Okay.
that particular pieces. But extempore is always done, even in dance.
right,
It's done
right.
a lot actually.
Okay. Okay. Except for maybe the dance dramas that you do, maybe those are a little more tighter.
Because it's recorded.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Extempore is not Manodharmam is not an issue.
not an issue. Okay.
For me, no, especially coming from the films, I've had a lot of people writing about me initially, not now anymore. So it's not all black and white. There are a few. There's one or two, and now three. For me, it's either honest critics or dishonest critics. The honest critics are the guys who know nothing, but
they're honest.
They're honest because they ask me. On WhatsApp, இது என்ன இப்படி இப்படிலாம் பண்ணலாமா இப்படிலாம் பண்ணலாம். So at least I see a future for that person because he wants to learn. And I'm like, okay, so probably the only thing here that we can give is wisdom. You have to be wise, you have to be experienced. So what is it? So then comes the dishonest ones. The honest ones, the dishonest ones, they have one thing in common. That is, they only have their own aesthetics. So here you are, as you said, we've been practicing for 30 years and 40 years, whatever. And then, so it's us and it's our audience, and there is one guy who's got the power of the pen.
Don't look at me.
நீதான் என்ன பார்த்த.
You have so much in shit.
He is like staring at him.
So there's one guy who's saying இது இப்படி இல்ல. I said, hi, அது எப்படி இருக்க முடியும் போக முடியும்? And so it is interesting to be critiqued by this person. So he has a power of the pen, and also I think a lot of critics want to be there because it's a support system. It's a support system and they feel brave and powerful, and that you write, oh, ivala patti eludhiyacha. So you get the eyeballs there. So that's like yellow journalism for me. And so I'm saying எனக்கு இதெல்லாம் வேணும் as a critic. நீங்க சொன்னீங்க ராகம் தெரியணும் அவசியம் இல்லை. ராகம்
இல்ல ராகம் தெரியணும் அவசியம் சொல்லல. அதுக்கு ஒரு கூகுள் சர்ச் பண்ணிட்டு இந்த ராகம் அந்த ராகம் அது சொல்லாதேங்கற அவ்வளவுதான் சொல்றேன்.
என்ன சொல்றேன்னா ஒரு கிரிட்டிக்னு அவனோட பாலபாடம் என்னன்னா ஒரு அளவுக்கு நான் டான்ஸ்ல சொல்றேன் ஒரு அளவுக்கு தெரியணும். He needs to know.
No, of course. Nobody's saying no.
He needs to know some mudras. He needs to know when the kid has gone off the talam. At least start from there. Basics. அது வேணும். அது ஒண்ணுத்துக்கும் இல்ல actually. And the other thing is it's very very personal. It's just like the rest of social media, So critic aanalum seri, I think we're just bang in a generation that just likes to be me. And there is no respect for somebody's individual artistry, nothing. So I in fact called an important newspaper and I asked them, I said, is he coming to look at my audience and how they react to me, or look at me and write? Then the editor said, "நான் என்ன பண்ண முடியும் இந்த மாதிரி there's so little people who want to come
Yeah,
and
that's
write."
another thing you often hear, by the way.
Ah,
Is
யாருமே
from
வர மாட்டேங்கிறா.
this thing like there's nobody there to write
No need to
who
write.
wants to do art criticism. So that means it's a structural problem too.
It
Is what I'm saying.
problem, and then they need to go be sent to school for heaven's sake, because they come and sit there and they just write. And the other thing is, it's just cut copy paste. It's cut copy paste from Leelaka or Subru Mama. It's the same thing, the same thing. So it doesn't even grab your attention. You don't want to see. It's regurgitated stuff like it's footwork. I mean, it's such a terrible way to put something as fascinating as your, what you do mathematically. You can make poetry with the kind of music that you make, right? And then the problem here, the dangerous thing is the responsibility that the critic has, because you have so many of the younger generation who look up to these reviews, and they kind of change what their gurus have taught them to adhere to this, even or idea, aesthetics. It's also like Instagramல கூட அப்படிதான், because when you're dancing, நீங்க first சொன்னது, there is this horizontal and vertical frame. So நம்மளோட dance எல்லாமே now it's been curtailed to get into their Instagram.
Interesting
frame.
point.
This is an American company, I think, that's making a lot
It's
of
a vertical
money.
frame here completely for Instagram.
It's a vertical frame. And how do you actually dance when you
Very
so
interesting point.
I'm trying to say, okay, எனக்கு இவ்வளோ experience இருக்கு, but I've never gotten down to actually capturing my movement. So if dance is about movement, then what are you doing? So you've kind of slashed everything down just to be in that frame. ஒரே இடத்துல 1 minute of high, velocity dancing. And the other thing is, now you're spreading an aesthetics, a problem, because the audience come and they see this and they see on YouTube, இவங்கெல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் ஸ்லோவாக பாடுறாங்கல்ல, கொஞ்சம் ஸ்லோவாக ஆடுறாங்கல்ல, because you're only used to this 1 minute, things. So this is, critic is a problem, sir. What do you think about people coming and, shooting your concerts, which is not meant to be shot, and then just pushing it out and that getting you like negative things? It's not meant to be shot. The vocal quality, nothing is meant to be done, right? So how does that impact you, or are you okay with it? Saying it's more publicity. 2.5 hours, first of all, that's what you're looking at. But if you're looking at a different kind of a genre of art, then you can even have art for 10 minutes. Recently somebody said, we want you to come and do a corporate event. I said, okay, fine. For how long? They said 10 minutes. I said, I can't. Then they said, ma'am, we'll give you a lot of money to just put it, but can you please come and do it? It's for a high-flying car company. And you have to have a theme around it. So another question, if I may ask them, what do you think about these thematic concepts? It's really annoying. I mean, So what do you think of thematic concerts? It's that people pressurize you and just somebody said, let's just title put up. I said, title put to ஏமாத்திட்டு.
என்ன மாதிரி டைட்டில் போடுங்க.
Like, give an example of a theme, like
Vishnu and Mahamaya.
That's the simplest theme you could come up with, I guess.
So என்ன பரவாயில்ல மேம், ஒரு தீம் வேணும். I said, தீம் பண்ணா ஒரு எக்ஸைட்டிங்கே கிடையாது. You have to stick to something, இல்லையா? அதுவும் டான்ஸ்ல வந்து இன்னும் கஷ்டம். So what do you think of this thematic presentation?
she's looking at you. I say that part of the responsibility is also with the audience, because if you are going to watch films on OTT, and then films are going to be made for the audiences that actually visit the theatres. So there is no point in saying, oh, they don't make movies like they used to, or whatever it is, because then everybody was going to watch it in the theatres and giving money then. Now you're waiting for it to come to OTT and listen. So what happens is, then theatres, they encourage only the films that they think will do well, or as they say, run, like in a theatre. So that's a very, I think the audience sometimes needs to own up a bit of the responsibility and say, I will not just go to a TM Krishna or a Jayashri or a Shobana or an Ashwath or a Praveen, but I will also go to maybe a younger singer and just like he said, just go in, check out 20 minutes. If you like it, stay. If you don't like it, that's fine. What have you lost? It's 20 minutes. But the point is that, because the reason is also that the season becomes about, let's say, 10 artists. And people following those 10 artists to wherever they go, whatever it is. And I'm not blaming those people, but I'm saying that there's tremendous concentration of the floodlights on few people, and the rest of them are left to their own devices. This is what I feel.
Isn't that an Indian bane, the star culture?
It's also not only the audience, it's also the artist's responsibility, isn't it, to take it out. So if, example, you know, you're saying we are all very wary of doing certain things. You're such prolific artists, right? And you're still there saying, எனக்கு இது பண்ணுறதுக்கு பயமாக இருக்குது. The artists before us have set like a precedence of such magic. And then would we be, of course you're capable of it. That's what I was trying to say. Otherwise you wouldn't have got so far. Is it you didn't get here only because of Instagram? You got because of your own phenomenal talent, right? So artists also should have that guts to go out there and start their stuff. And we never had all of those things that you know, even you guys did. So it was just doing one performance, word of mouth. We hope that particular sabha books us the next year, and they will. And then because that particular sabha booked us, 2 years later some other sabha will come and book you. So this was a hard innings kind of thing. Over 20-25 years we've kind of done that, right? So you guys have the luxury of Instagram. So I don't think that it's only the you know, the audience, it's also the artist. Go out and do what you were born to do, and people will always come. You don't need to depend upon anything, you know. So and also critics illa எழுதுறதுக்கு ஆள் இல்லை. அப்போ நம்மளோட அப்போ social மீடியாவில் போங்க, it's definitely going to work. So you can't just blame some business you know, like a Sabha or something, that அவங்க போடலன்னு இல்லை. You are, it is also your responsibility to be heard and seen. So if you're going to sit and you know, say, oh, in the, I'm only talking about dance, okay? I'm saying if you're going to say, oh, இந்த critic இப்படி எழுதினா, maybe என்னோட குரு சொல்லி கொடுத்ததெல்லாம் தப்பு, நான் வந்து மாற்றிட்டு இப்படி ஆடுறேன், அப்படி பண்ணால் இங்கேயும் இல்லை அங்கேயும் இல்லை. So you need to have conviction. You need to have, you also need to read, you need to know history. It's not you wearing a costume, having some, you know, phenomenal talent and then doing, there's so many other things. You know, history is very important, to know the lyrics, everything is important. So adana first varatom. Adana you need to know even the meanings of the song, the lyrics. Ava lyrics tappa padina என்ன ஆறுது, மீனிங்கே மாறும் இல்லையா? ஸோ இது எல்லாம் தெரிஞ்சதுக்கு அப்போ இதெல்லாம் ஃபஸ்ட் நீங்கள் நம்ம அந்த வேலையை செய்யணும். ஓகே, தென் we can say, you know, இவங்க ப்ரமோட் பண்ணல. பட் artists have the first responsibility is what I think.
Praveen?
Yeah, I mean, like, I do agree with what...
in this particular scenario, when we're talking about this, is what I think. It's, you can't like always blame it. So finally, you'll only be the loser. You know, if you're just trying to say, நம்மள இப்படி போடலை, அவங்க இந்த மாதிரி போடலை, இந்த சபா எங்களை போடலை, இந்த மாதிரி பண்ணால் 10 பேர் தானே போட்டுட்டே இருக்கோம்னா, அப்போ there has to be a way around it.
No, I think what I wasn't saying that it's only the audience. I was trying to say the audience is also part of the issue, because if I'm going to follow his Instagram or whatever it is, I'm unaware of many others that are talented, and sometimes if you like a, because it's just too much out there.
So you're only talking about audience. It's not only the Sabha, isn't it? It's so many other kind of things.
Yeah.
Temple festivals, government organizations, ellame irukade. So everybody has to take the equal blame.
Anyway, thanks all, and have a wonderful December, and yeah, thank you.